Happy Thanksgiving. Here I thought I'd quickly show off for two of my aunt's vacuums that she uses currently as her primary vacuums, not the vacuums that she's given to me. That will be at a later date when I get my hands on them because unfortunately I wasn't able to get them in this trip, but she did, however, bring down two machines for me to look at and do a quick service here at my grandfather's. So the one on the left is a Dyson ball and a Shark Rotator left away dual clean power fins. The Shark she's had since it was brand new. Don't know when or how much she paid for it, but I can tell you it was bought new. But the Dyson was bought used recently from Facebook Marketplace for $80. And I guess according to her, there was one problem with it when she got it, and that's where she had me take a look at it. Is the wand itself was clogged, so I was able to simply remove that, and it works fine. But then I also took the pre-filter out and I washed it in the washing machine because afterwards I used the Dyson to clean out the Vacuumate Central Vac, kind of just to make sure that it works just fine. But anyways, yeah, the filter is pretty clean, but the Shark, I just only simply vacuumed off the filters and that was it. The filters inside of here had some downy scent pebbles that you use in the washing machine that my aunt decided to put in the filter because she wanted this machine to smell nice when she's using it. If it was on a much nicer machine, I personally wouldn't do that, but if it's on something that's trash like this one, I personally would not carry. And yes, I really don't like this machine at all. As a matter of fact, this is actually one of the worst designs I've ever seen on a vacuum. And I can also honestly say that I like the Dyson way much better. It's more powerful, it feels better in my hands, and I can definitely get parts for this machine. I also do like that it has a better cyclonic setup on this. This one's terrible, like one of the worst I've seen. And I like the pre-filter setup on this as well compared to this. But at least the vacuum's better than no vacuum, I can honestly say. But the bottom line is this is so terrible that I just cannot imagine why anybody would want to buy this. I mean, if you look underneath, I mean, it's nice. It's got the dual clean where it can easily suck up larger chunks off the floor, but there is a brush roll, but it's not like the bristles are ridiculously soft and they're very thin as well. This thing barely has any agitation at all. And not only that, but it also has terrible airflow. So that's like two of the most important things that you need to have on a vacuum if you want to do clean carpets. And also because this uses a auto height adjuster, this thing floats on the carpet, so it's not going to deep clean your carpets. It has powerful suction, but that's like the third most important thing you want on a vacuum. Airflow and agitation are the ones I look for first before suction. And that's one of the reasons why the Dyson is better. It's got a much stiffer brush roll. It does agitate the carpet, and I can honestly say that with so much power this has with the Panasonic motor design, it just lifts up the carpet, and this one barely does it at all. But I do want to give a little credit to Shark, where I can be able to take the power lift design off if I can try to do it with one hand here. Give me one sec. Anyways, I had to also press on this power button, but anyways, I like that you can be able to use this as a lift away feature, to use this as a lightweight canister to reach up to higher above ceilings and such. I mean, not saying that that this is a bad design. I mean, it does do it, but if I wanted to reach up to like high above ceilings, it's just way much more convenient to use it as a canister than to use this, because even if you pull this much on the hose, it just chokes on the airflow. I can get this back on, but definitely putting a wand on this is so much more convenient, though you do have to unhook the cord in order for the other wand to work. It did came with a crevice to it, but it looks like an extra attachment is missing. So inside of here, let this up. This is a terrible cyclonic design. It's so bad where the filters just get dirty ridiculously fast, and these filters aren't very good in constant filtration, so I've seen a lot of dust go into the motor and leak out through the HEPA filter, and that's one of the things why I see motors on these die. There we go. It does have a thick enough HEPA filter, but even with this thick enough filter, it doesn't really help to get the motor to breathe a lot easier. And honestly, I think some of the downy pebbles that went inside the motor, I think the motor is already sounding bad because of it. At least unlike some of the other Sharks I don't like, I like that the hose is not clear, because I really dislike clear hoses on machines. This one's clear. I just think that's such an ugly look. So other than that, that's basically about it to talk about with the Shark. Yeah, this is definitely not anywhere as good or better than her Shark professional rotator from my previous video. So on the Dyson, one of the things I just don't like about this is sometimes when you push like that, it just automatically goes into the carpet. I think that's annoying. Let's see, another thing I don't like, yeah, and I also did mention that you have to take off all the cord to use the wand in this. And even though this does have a better cyclonic setup than the Shark, it is more cumbersome to clean off. Like, you have to disassemble the whole thing, whereas this one, you can just unclog it quick and easy. Quickly show off the model number here. I'm not really going to try to show off everything on the machine, because not only I'm limited on time, but also everything else is still dirty that I personally wouldn't want to touch my hands on unless if I was wearing gloves. And then on the Shark, see that it does have the crevice tool, which is not bad, and the upholstery tool with bristles that are good for removing pet hair. So the Dyson, I was never really a fan of them, though over the years I've gained a little more, I wouldn't say respect, but more of a appreciation of some of the older designs they had back then. Like there were some things they made better back then, but also on the newer models like this one, I can tell that they've also made some improvements as well. In fact, this does do a better job on performance than my uncle's DC-25 Animal. So other than that, there's also not much to talk about this. I'm also, when it comes to Dyson, I'm not really a fan of the ball technology. I much prefer the old classic way. But it is a unique design. I'll give him that. Personally, if I ever wanted a Dyson ball, I would either get a DC-24 because I like the size that I think would have been good enough to use for like a camping trailer, or my personal preference would have been a what you call it, a DC-21. That's a canister where I can actually fit underneath the bed here. So give me 1 sec. I'm trying to remember how to remove the filter. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I had to use 2 hands in order to lift this up. But here's the filter, which is washable, unlike the Shark. But I've actually had success with washing the Shark Post filter. I wouldn't personally recommend it. I would just rather replace it. And same thing with this as well, because these filters aren't really meant to last, but that just shows you the inside of it. And again, this uses a Panasonic motor, which I do like. So put this back on. It's probably easier if I paused it. Anyways, there you go. That's about it. I'm sure you guys know the rest of the features on this and know how they work, yada yada yada. So I'm just going to go ahead and start doing a demo. Both of these, I'll start with the Shark. Yuck, that definitely does not sound normal at all. But honestly, either way, Sharks has one of the most hideous sounds I've ever heard of. Now the Dyson. anyways, there you have it. Hope you've enjoyed, and thanks for watching.